Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video we will talk about functional interfaces. This video is a continuation of the previous one about lambdas. If we check out the code there quickly, we saw the predicate, and I told you not to pay attention to this part yet, but today we will pay attention to the predicate because this is a functional interface. So in order to understand what a functional interface is, let's first check out what problems they solve. So let's say we want to build a method that checks if the string is empty. Coincidentally, I already built that method called string checker, and here it just prints out string is empty plus string dot is empty. This will return a Boolean value, so it will print out either true or false. So let's see if it works. Let's create a new empty string. And then let's pass it to the method to see if it is actually empty. Let's run the code, and hopefully it will print out true. There we go. So next up we want to maybe check if a string contains the letter A, for which I've also already written a method. So let's go ahead and create a string containing the letter A. And then pass it to the string checker again. If we run this code, hopefully it will print out true twice. And there we go. So both of these methods both take string as a parameter and return a Boolean. They actually don't return anything, but they could return a Boolean. So let's create an interface that takes a string as a parameter and returns a Boolean. So this is a functional interface. A functional interface is an interface with a single abstract method, aka SAM. So in order to check the strings for emptiness, or if it contains the letter A, you could write a class and then implement the string checker interface and then override the method checkString, provide an implementation of that method, and blah blah blah. You could also use lambdas. So let's see what that looks like. So in order to use the interface, we need to write a new method. In this case, I will call it checkString with interface because that is what it does. The parameters here are a string, and we also pass the interface as a parameter of this method. For the method body, we will just print out checker.checkString. Notice here that checker is the interface and the checkString is the method, and there is no actual implementation here. So let's go back to the main method and call this new method using the interface. So we start off in the same way. We call the method checkString with interface. We pass the empty string, but then we arrive at the point where the method expects the functional interface. So here we provide a lambda. In this case, the lambda will provide the implementation to the interface. So in this case, we have a string, and we just want to check if the string is empty. We could do the same thing for the other method and the other string, checking if the string contains an A. So let's go ahead and run this, and hopefully it should both still print true. And there we go. So to go through it again one more time in case it doesn't make much sense yet, we have defined the interface right here, and this interface is called string checker with just one method called checkString. It takes a string and it returns a Boolean. Now in the method checkString with interface, we state this interface as one of the parameters. This is allowed because it is a functional interface, meaning that we can provide the implementation of this interface in the form of a lambda expression, which we do right here. If this is a bit confusing, please go watch my previous video about lambdas. Now let's go back to the code of that earlier video and check out the predicate interface. Here you can see something that might look familiar to the functional interface we have defined ourselves. Obviously the name is different, but also it uses generics, which we will cover in a video in the future. And actually, if we go back to our code in the functional interface class, we can change the string checker to predicate of string, and it would still work the same. So right now we're using a predicate with the type of string, and it will test the string and return a Boolean value. So if we run this code, it would still print out 2 trues, hopefully. There we go. So right now it's not using the string checker interface, but the predicate interface. Now within Java there are a lot more functional interfaces, and also a lot more functional interfaces you need to know for your OCP exam. We will cover those in a later video. But I hope in this video I have laid the foundation of understanding functional interfaces, how you can define them yourself, and how they are used within your code. Okay, that's it for this video. So in the next one we will talk about other functional interfaces that are important for the OCP exam. As always, the code is in the GitHub link in the description, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye!